What is good, YouTube? It's your boy A-robGoAwol, and as you can see, we are back with more Edith and Finch, or Edith Finch. And yeah, I have a feeling that we are getting really close to the end. Let me get go out the window.
Found in the house. Mom didn't want it getting out.
Okay, we can go up.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Cannery? So Lewis was a loner? See.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar.
Oh.
That part of him lived on.
My man's played games.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
So
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh, so he's working at the cannery.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior.
Oh, that blade.
His mind began to...
He was doing drugs? Whoa. Began to...
wander.
Oh, that's me.
I asked him to describe it.
And I gotta do the fish thing at the same time. Alright.
He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth.
Multitasking?
He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats.
And I gotta talk at the same time? This is kinda hard. It's like a
and
dinosaur.
Things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Hope he does too, man. Going stupid.
But he found something more. I worried about him then.
3D.
Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him.
I was starting to take up the whole thing.
It seemed very promising at first.
So is it like his brain and his thoughts getting took over by his
He told
brain?
me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Total. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
This is like a whole new game. It's kind of cool.
And songs for them to play. talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Hey, okay. This big getting lit.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that
Like
all
light.
the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
That's kind of cool, though.
He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Of course he did, because this isn't in his imagination.
They begged
If you
him to
didn't win your
stay,
own
but
election,
his
I
mind
would have
was
just been
already
salty.
wandering. It became a game for him.
I bet.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
New mobile game.
St.
Louistopia.
Louis.
Cop it on the Apple Store, Play Store. You feel me? Nah, I'm just
We
playing.
started drifting away from our reality.
I
Minneapolis.
can't steer.
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Bro, he was lost in the sauce.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
Handsome Queen. I'm so confused by that statement. Oh no, chill. Chill. Handsome Queen,
handsome
cuz.
queen.
Wait. It's like my bride, or is this me? I don't know. I don't know what I chose. I just went, okay.
The queen was on her own quest for
Oh, I'm a queen? That's okay.
sinister serpents.
Yes, son. We gonna body some serpents.
He followed the sound of her
I want an electric sitar.
electric sitar.
Let's get it. Oh yeah.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Nice little
Even
palace,
then,
bro.
his logic remained sound.
Oh, bro, yeah, his mind.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Kind of have to assume where the thing is. Ayy.
But he was so proud of having created it.
He got stuck. Oh.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Dang. Man, how would y'all like to be a
For someone
king?
who'd never known success in the real
I
world,
mean,
I think it was overwhelming.
man.
And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
What's good, buddy? with your no face, no fingers. Oh, we're in the cannery. I have the outfit on.
He began to forget the world we
Oh yeah,
knew.
the substance and his games. That has to be his locker. Yeah. So in his imagination, he thinks he's at
I
a
think
palace.
it pains him to remember Lewis. the
But in
cannery worker.
realization, in reality, he's at the cannery. Supposedly walking up to his throne, maybe?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, it's me. I'm not even grabbing them.
I still thought I could save him.
That boy deep
Even
in
after
it,
he
man.
said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Hey! They get lit in here, though. Okay. Hey, man. Is this the imagination he's
Even the
living?
wise Calico had insisted on
I can mess
embarrassing
with
him.
it. Calico? Like the thing from Monster Hunter? If y'all play Monster Hunter, you know what I'm talking about. Hold up, I thought I heard
Queen
something.
waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head.
You don't want to do that.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Wow. His imagination got the best of him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Lewis, man. Why you had to do that to
He was
yourself?
so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch. On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Edie?
But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Oh, someone's in here. They like forced me to come in here. I don't know
What happened
that
that
was.
night had been coming for a long time. Maybe I should have
Oh
come
yeah,
sooner.
Edith. Wait, wait a minute, that's me.
But it had to end one
Right.
way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Yes. Finally. Now we're
The
writing
whole
our
last
story.
day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Dang. Let's go get our present, bro.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrances.
Edie's like grandma or something?
Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Afraid? Whoa, wait a minute.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Sorry guys, I'm not talking much,
Dear
man. I'm
There's
just trying to
so
listen.
many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been
Old
an
house.
earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Whose house was this?
I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
So we're Edie. We are Edie, man.
I got
is the same
turned
thing.
around.
Wow. What the? Where did this big old rock come from?
For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things.
It's a whole deer. Alright.
Things I'd
Oh,
forgotten
dear.
had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's
Oh.
mine!
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
Mom, my
I kicked and
book,
screamed,
my
but-
notebook.
Mom dragged me to the car.
No.
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Grandma Edie.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
I swear she had a lot of kids. Bro, the numbers were
A
packing.
few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But
I wonder
she
what
started getting
those
sick
letters say. Oh,
now. The rest happened pretty quickly. She
His
got
mom?
better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
bro. That's just sad. She's
Last Finch left alive.
the last.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If
Wait
we
a
lived
minute.
forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it
Is
is,
she talking
I
about,
think
like,
the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
A baby Finch? Like, is there a younger?
Appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Oh, ain't I pregnant?
This
I don't
journal
know.
was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
Are we
I
in the
just want to
moon?
meet you
What is
and tell
happening?
you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Edith. She died. Yep. Wow. That's it. Yes, sir. That's it. Can we, guys? Round of applause. Round of applause. I hope you did enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell to get notified when I upload the next video. Man, that was good, man. That was good. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.